Truth is making a comeback. America's Top Stories with Lisa K. Donner.
Yellow vest fever is sweeping Europe and shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. The protest started about a month ago in Paris over a carbon tax that the French government proposed. Now people are taking to the streets with a variety of concerns from a number of countries. Joining me now is Liberty Nation's Laura Volkovic, who is our socio-political correspondent. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so this yellow vest business is spreading across Europe. It started with Macron in France, and recently he had an address to the nation. He's already in somewhat of a hot water, isn't he?
He is. He really is. These protests began around a month ago in response to some carbon taxes he wanted to install. But it's been 4 weeks until he really addressed the people and put forward some solutions. So I don't know if those solutions will be enough for the French people to forgive him, but they're not happy.
One of his solutions really had me laughing in the aisle. You wrote, quote, reinvent and restore the educational system so that everyone can find work after graduating at an income capable of preserving dignity. Well, yeah, duh. I mean, that's just so absurd on its face. Of course, that's what every country wants. But the question is, how do you get there? And the answer doesn't seem to be socialism.
Yeah, well, the impression seems to be that the French people don't believe that they're getting enough income to really maintain, I guess you could say, dignity. Dignity was a big theme in his televised speech the other night. And it seems like, yes, he's got the idea of the general dissatisfaction, but he doesn't necessarily have the specifics for how to fix it.
But it's interesting because this yellow vest business, like you said, it's exploding all across Europe. The people have no firearms, so they're really getting the crap beat out of them. Isn't that essentially true?
To some degree. I mean, it's true that there have been quite a few instances of police brutality. A lot of videos are coming out with quite shocking scenes of police and paramilitary as well, which they have in France, pretty much abusing people who are unarmed. But at the same time, the people are kind of getting quite violent even without firearms. They're looting, smashing up shops and restaurants, setting fire to cars. So they are causing quite a bit of havoc.
So basically, do you see this as a situation where it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better? Or is it just going to continue spreading across Europe?
Well, now that Macron's put his solutions forward, it's hard to say. I guess we'll see next weekend if there are more people out on the streets protesting. I'd say even if it goes away, it's only going to be temporary because a lot of the underlying issues are still kind of bubbling away across Europe. So we might see a temporary kind of ceasefire, but it probably won't last forever.
So if you had to enumerate, let's say the undeniable issues, what would they be?
I would suggest they don't believe the government has their interests at heart. There's definitely a feeling that the government is there just to be rich and in charge without any real concern for the people. And number 2, probably migration seems to be a pretty major issue.
Well, what about taxes?
Yes, I'd say taxes definitely, but that kind of ties into the feeling of the rich versus the poor, the inequality in society.
Well, thank you so much. That's Laura Volkovic reporting from the United Kingdom on LibertyNation.com. Thanks for joining us today, Laura.
Thank you.
Truth is making a comeback. Visit us at libertynation.com.